Welcome to Capital Quality's Pilot, Group 2, and Group 3 Community of Practice webinar. To provide ongoing support for the Capital Quality on-site administrators, the Office of the State Superintendent of Education, in partnership with Hurley & Associates, is implementing a series of Community of Practice meetings for center directors and home care providers. This Community of Practice series is part of an ongoing effort to build capacity and knowledge as it relates to addressing the 10 quality indicators articulated in Capital Quality's Continuous Quality Improvement Plan. This webinar is an edited recording and presentation of the Community of Practice conducted on Friday, May 11th and Saturday, May 12th of 2018. This Community of Practice focused on lesson planning and curriculum alignment. It also afforded participants an opportunity to engage with fellow providers and learn about upcoming professional development opportunities. This is one presentation in a series of presentations designed to build the skills and competencies of providers participating in Capital Quality as it relates to the Infant Toddler Environment Rating Scale Revised, Family Child Care Environment Rating Scale Revised, and Class Assessment Scoring System Pre-K. Additionally, it will provide an overview of upcoming professional development opportunities identified by DC Child Care Connections and the Bainham Family Foundation. Lastly, the Community of Practice includes information on upcoming Community of Practice meetings and next steps for the Capital Quality community. During April's meeting, we discussed classroom organization as defined by the class and ERS. We focused on the activity subscale as defined by the ITERS-R and FICRS-R, particularly art, science, and the use of books. We also discussed alignment between the curriculum, the class, and ERS, and the Decent Common Core Early Learning Standards. During this month's Community of Practice, participants discussed which tool in their toolbox best reflected their role as a director, home provider, or instructional coach as an icebreaker activity. We're also going to focus on various tools you have available to implement high-quality programs that meet the needs of the children and families you serve. Capital Quality participants will continue to develop goals and action steps as part of the Continuous Quality Improvement Plan. Providers will also continue to monitor their progress toward those goals. We want to sincerely thank all of you for your ongoing commitment to continuous quality improvement and the Capital Quality community. We look forward to continuing our work with you. During this month's Community of Practice, providers discussed the difference between curriculum and lesson planning. To begin, curriculum is the entire span of lessons, strategies, and teachings that children will be taught during the course of a year. Research, according to NAEYC, supports the idea that the implementation of a curriculum that is sensitive to the developmental capabilities and backgrounds of the individual children, addresses the multiple domains of children's development, and supports the view that children are active participants in the learning process, promoting positive, long-term achievement in academic settings. Lesson plans are weekly or bi-weekly plans that fall within the curriculum. The choice of which curriculum to implement is less important than the intentionality and the practice of the teachers who consistently ask themselves the following questions. What do children need to learn? How will children best learn? And how do I help children build on what they know and what they can do? These questions must be asked and answered in the areas of social and emotional, language, physical, and cognitive development, as well as in the curriculum content areas of early literacy, early mathematics, science and technology, creative expression, health and safety, and social studies. In general, most curricula include the following: the goals for the knowledge and skills to be acquired by children, the planned learning experiences linked to these goals, the daily schedule and routines into which activities and opportunities are integrated, and the availability and organization of materials for children. Standards are the goals for the knowledge and skills to be acquired by children. The relevant standards in the District of Columbia are the DC Common Core Early Learning Standards. Lesson plans are the planned learning experiences linked to these goals. An activity schedule is the daily schedule and routines into which activities and opportunities are integrated. And ERS established the minimum expectation and addresses the availability and organization of materials for children. Before developing weekly lesson plans, teachers need to know the curriculum, teaching strategies, tools of assessment, and developmentally appropriate outcomes and standards. According to Ann Epstein from the National Association for the Education of Young Children, intentional teachers use their knowledge, judgment, and experience to organize meaningful learning experiences for children. Intentionality, as described by NAEYC, is being planful and deliberate, knowing what you're doing and why, and being able to explain to others, having a vision as educators, as administrators, and as a profession. As an instructional leader and director, your role is to assist your teachers in monitoring their implementation of the curriculum, ensuring that it is aligned to the standards. To do so, you have to know the curriculum, and you have to implement curriculum with fidelity. The following practices are integral. Think about which statements are true for your organization. Our curriculum is clearly aligned to the DC Common Core Early Learning Standards. Our staff, or I, have been trained on the curriculum and all components within the last 12 months. Our program adheres to the curriculum scope and sequence 80% of the time. Our program collects ongoing assessment to determine children's needs regularly. Our lesson plans are developed weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly and are aligned with the curriculum and DC Common Core Early Learning Standards. Our lesson plans intentionally address the language and literacy development of young children and considers class and ERS. I review or develop lesson plans weekly or bi-weekly. There is a system in place to ensure materials for all activities are readily available and aligned with the ERS. I assess developmentally appropriate practices in the curriculum and lesson plans each week. Based on which statements were true for your organization, what areas do you need to address with staff? What resources or strategies will you use? Think about your self-assessment and work to develop next steps. One key takeaway from the self-assessment is examining to what degree teachers are being intentional when reading books with children. Dialogic reading is one teaching strategy currently used to develop language and literacy in young children. We have reviewed some of the items of the activity subscale, including blocks, dramatic play, art and science, and the use of books, under the listening and talking subscale during March and April Community of Practice. When developing a study or thematic unit, you have to develop a plan to not only address the curriculum, but also the ERS and DC Common Core Early Learning Standards. Consider using a standard lesson plan template aligned with your curriculum. The curriculum used does not matter as much as being intentional about the practice. Develop a system to align curriculum, the ERS, and the standards into one lesson plan that your teachers follow regularly. One teaching strategy for shared reading is dialogic reading. While reading, prompt children with questions and engage them in discussions based on the book. Think about how dialogic reading would support successful interactions as defined by the class and ERS. Did we accomplish everything? Did we provide an overview of lesson planning and curriculum alignment? Did we provide an overview of teaching strategies, including dialogic reading to support read aloud? Did we discuss strategies to align the curriculum with the environment rating scales and the DC Common Core Early Learning Standards? My Child Care DC is currently available. Visit today for more information for families and early learning professionals. The new Professional Development Information System, PDIS, was built to replace the Professional Development Registry, PDR. PDIS will allow professionals to register for and track training, upload and store necessary documentation, input work experience, generate a resume, and gain access to valuable resources. Sign up today. DC Childcare Connections publishes current professional development opportunities within the PDIS. Please share upcoming June and October 2018 college fair information with early childhood staff. Early Childhood Share DC is an online sharing platform for providers. Over 1,000 classroom and administrative resources, plus vendor discounts, are currently available on the site. To access the site, visit ecsharedc.org. Establish a profile, and a team member from EC Share DC will contact you to complete registration. You must have your center or home license on hand to register. As you work with your quality facilitator, you will continue to monitor progress and action steps based on the class and ERS. The next Community of Practice meeting for Pilot and Group 2 providers will be held on Friday, June 22nd and Saturday, June 23rd from 10 a.m. to 12 noon. The next Community of Practice meeting for Group 3 providers will be held on Friday, June 8th and Saturday, June 23rd from 10 a.m. to 12 noon. We are always available. Please follow us on Twitter and Facebook. Visit the OSSE website for up-to-date information. Feel free to contact Dr. Catherine Kagera or Pillow Parker for questions related to capital quality.